Support for the unseen hour comes from Brain Monkey.
From Brain Monkey?
Brain
Monkey.
Monkey.
Over 7 billion secret government organizations around the world.
You're a brain monkey.
To extract information, manipulate the weak-willed, and indoctrinate the populace.
Brain monkey. Send better mind control.
I use Brain Monkey.
You do.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
We're also sponsored by Slasher Razors. Ordinary razor companies may be fine for shaving, but when it comes to serial murder, they just don't cut it. Slasher use tempered steel and traditional sharpening techniques to bring you a slicing tool worthy of a professional. But don't take my word for it. A crime scene forensic pathologist had this to say.
I didn't recognize the MO at all. The spatter patterns were so neat. I could have sworn this assailant had a medical background. The incisions were that clean. Then we noticed that our suspect had recently started a subscription to Old Slasher Razors. We'll probably never catch him now.
If you're sick of law enforcement and the press referring to you as a butcher, Old Slasher is the men's grooming solution for you. Old Slasher Razors, the choice of the true psychopath.
We love making the Unseen Hour, and we love bringing it to you for free, although there are several ways to make donations. However, the Unseen Hour has recently been diagnosed with Tinkerbell syndrome. Do you believe in the Unseen Hour? If you do, say so. Tell your friends. Use your hashtags and your likes. Clap your hands and say, I believe in the Unseen Hour. Rate and review us on iTunes. Only you can help the Unseen Hour avoid unraveling into dust and dark matter. Remember, our sponsorship advertising is not real. None of this is real. Often, it's barely coherent. One listener on Twitter said, I don't think I ever really know what's going on in the Unseen Hour. We are teetering on the edge of oblivion. Help.
Can you tell me what it all means?
Shut your eyes. Stop your ears. Ear.
We have to find out who's behind this and why.
But what's going on? I don't understand. Latecomers. It's James King. What a surprise.
He's gone on.
It's not an easy thing to understand for such an enormous imbecile.
What do you want to know?
Who's behind this and why?
I have so many regrets.
The first time I heard the podcast, I thought it must be some kind of vindictive flim-flam. But when I learned and started to investigate, I discovered it was much, much more. For the Carcoast Broadcasting Company and Unseen Things Productions, I'm Rufus Strideforth, and this is the Unseen Hour Files. The obsessional sort, but I'm extremely dynamic, self-disciplined, and fashionable. You have to be when you're a 21st century investigative reporter. So, when I awoke to find my minimalist bedsit looking like the lair of a Dickensian hoarder, I knew there was a mystery to be solved. Yes. Now, the memory can play tricks, but I clearly recall sterilizing and packing away my charcuterie board and tongs the previous night, and wiping down all the services. This morning, it looked as though Jim Kerr had been researching the Gnostics. I checked at my office and found it in a similar state. Manila folders from floor to ceiling. I also discovered several storage units filled with files, tapes, scrapbooks, and other documents, and all of them labeled with the words, The Unseen Hour. Whoops. Carrot! After the inspection, I learned that the Unseen Hour was a podcast. And from deeper reading, I learned that a podcast is much like an ocean liner. Except that instead of passengers, it contains information. And instead of sailing on the sea, it sails on the internet towards the landmass of its listeners' understanding. That is genuinely the most accurate way to describe it. Mere moments after learning this, my phone rang. Who is this? Who is this?
It's Emoji Perch.
Who?
Your information specialist. The hacker.
Never heard of it.
Not this again. Look, you're a serial amnesiac embroiled in a tense and highly dangerous investigation into an obscure and potentially world-changing, as well as very amusing, internet phenomenon.
The Unseen Hour?
Yes. You've been investigating this podcast for almost 5 years. You've released 100 episodes of your own podcast, The Unseen Hour Files. Don't you remember anything? The very survival of the human race could be in the balance. It's a high-stakes scenario. You have to find out who's behind it and why.
All right, I'll take your word for it. So, what were you calling about?
You're in danger. There are 2 enemy agents watching you right now. Hang up the phone and make your way to Ratfoot Church. Try to shake them.
How do you know? The rude lady on the phone was right. There were 2 dark-suited figures looking at me askance. They cornered me before I could run.
Mr. Strideforth!
We have had our eye on you for some time, Mr. Strideforth.
Quite some time, Mr. Strideforth. Oh, we listened to your podcast, The Unseen Hour Files. Congratulations on your 100th episode.
I had heard enough. I ran. Oh, yes, I ran. They gave chase. But you don't work as an investigative journalist for as long as I have without learning a thing or two about running away. Also, they shared an eye, apparently. I had just given them the slip around the back of Ratfoot Church when...
This way, dearie, come inside.
We are fans of your podcast. We want to help you find out who's behind it and why.
Congratulations on your 100th episode. We love Unseen Hour Files. It's our favourite.
Oh, good. Good, I don't remember making it. Who were those sunglasses-wearing spooks?
They are agents of the Office for the Optimisation of Extraordinary Epiphenomenologically Opposed but Observed Occurrences. Oh.
And who are you?
We, Mr. Strideforth, are part of the Office for the Optimisation of Extraordinary Epiphenomenologically Opposed but Observed Occurrences. Who are you?
I may be wrong, but it feels like you both said the same thing there.
Yeah, there are different factions within the Office for the Optimisation of Extraordinary Epiphenomenologically Opposed but Observed Occurrences.
And we're the ones on your side.
You wrote it and you got it wrong. Wait a minute, I know your voice! You're...
That's right, Emoji Perch.
From the phone!
Yes, Mr. Strideforth. The world is not truly the way it appears to you.
Yes, actually, I feel like everything's moving very quickly. I haven't had time to properly establish the ordinary world of Act 1, and it seems as though we're gearing up to jump into Act 2 already.
That, Rufus, is up to you. You see these 2 plates? Choose the steak and kidney. You'll wake up in your own bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Choose the liver and onions. You stay in Wonderland and see just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Like that bit in the Matrix!
Yes.
Ha ha! I think I'll take the liver and onions! No. Oh, good. Lovely. It was a strange sensation, like passing through an organic membrane and falling down a tunnel filled with clocks. And all the time, I heard a mysterious and narratively unrelated voice speaking. Here she comes.
Hello. Thank you for coming. I trust you have all enjoyed your wine. You all deserve to blow off a little steam, and both myself and co-director Malloy appreciate your patience. I know that you are all very busy and that many of you are struggling at the moment, not least because of the funding window elapsing in a week. I know I speak for many of you when I say that this time of year is always fraught with stress and anxiety. It can be difficult for friends and loved ones to empathise. For them, this time of year is all resolutions and tax returns. For us, it is chasing grant money. I'm pleased that so many of you have come round to this year and taken the decision to broaden the focus of your work to encompass various defence initiatives and contractors. It shows a great degree of intellectual maturity on your part. I'm also immeasurably proud of the level-headedness with which most of you have approached the entirely sensible quarantine lockdown here these past weeks. However, our zeal to complete our projects on schedule has caused certain standards to slip, and there has been a spike in occurrences, which must be curbed immediately, or our situation here will become untenable. Further to that, I am not deaf to the many rumours and stories that have been circulating since the lockdown. It is to be expected. We are a large family here at the facility, and whispers turn to shouts with alarming speed at a dinner table as crowded as ours. Co-director Malloy has advised me that declassifying certain information might be beneficial to you. Full disclosure, as they say. To begin with, supplies are plentiful. We have lived here in relative comfort for 6 weeks, and we have enough food to continue on in this way for some months. It is our sincere hope that such a long stay will not be necessary, but we do not speak for the future here. We make it. Indeed, the supply of fresh vegetables will no longer be a concern due to the pioneering work done by Dr. Ventura and Dr. Monroe and the bravery of Dr. Sikar. Their work in empathic horticulture has ensured that the crops in the nursery on sub-level 8 and 9 can now be actively encouraged to provide higher yields. Dr. Sikar's sacrifice of his first body in favour of the one grown for him, equipped to communicate using terpenoid plant pheromones, shows enviable moxie. I have been informed by the text that it will take some time to replace all the lighting in the habitation floors with lamps that nourish his new skin efficiently. For the time being, he must be confined to the nursery with the other plants, but he is happy to greet visitors. It should be noted that we simulate dusk for him around 1800 hours. Visitors after that time may find that his new face petals will have closed by then. A word on the void in the recreation room. It is regrettably getting larger. Dr. Drexler and his interns have informed me that they have managed to slow its expansion by over 90%, which is extremely encouraging. However, the recreation room must, for the time being, be considered out of bounds. Rest assured that the photographs have been taken of the ongoing poker league table on the whiteboard. The TV and the bookshelves have been salvaged, and a new space will be allotted soon for R&R. Sadly, though, we were unable to save Dr. Merriweather or the pool table. Both were consumed by the void before Dr. Drexler could stabilise it, and both must now be considered lost to us. It may sound over-romantic, but I choose to think of Dr. Merriweather and the pool table as strange pioneers. I'm also sad to report that the entropy generator that Dr. Bristow and Dr. Apologo are so proud of has indeed misfired. Large sections of sub-level 4, along with Dr. Bristow and Dr. Apologo themselves, are now considerably more diffuse. Those of you with equipment or possessions on sub-level 4 are welcome to attempt to retrieve them, but be warned, said items will not be as you left them. You may find them difficult to pick up. I, myself, left my reading glasses on Dr. Apologo's desk, and they are now more like a kind of mist. Similarly, please be careful not to walk through Dr. Bristow and Dr. Apologo as you peruse the area. Try to remember that their molecules are no longer as disciplined as your own. Those of you who are concerned for the safety of Dr. Phillips, Sanchez, and Anderson, rest assured that their bodies are in perfect health. I, for one, applaud their courage at putting their faith in the surviving members of the psychopharmacology department. I am told that at present their dream avatars are still fighting their way to the centre of the ego labyrinth of Dr. Prendergast in an attempt to talk him down. Now, to those of you that complained to HR about the recent conduct to Dr. Julie Sierra, I would like to come clean. Due to my own experiments, there are now 2 Julies. The first Julie, Julie Prime, is just as you remember her. Short, auburn, prone to humming at her microscope. The Julie we know and love. It is the second Julie who is the source of your complaints. Dr. Whittaker, it is this Julie that gave your lab rats the intelligence serum and distributed the miniaturized socialist literature among them. Dr. Standish, it is this Julie that magnetized all of your possessions. Dr. Plowley, it is this Julie that spiked your food with the DNA elixir. You should lose the tail in a few days, apparently. Dr. Helios, it is this Julie that made your lab coat self-aware. And Dr. Holmes, it is this Julie that stole your temporal loop snare. As far as we can tell, she didn't have time to activate it before security caught her, which is indeed fortunate. I'm sure Dr. Holmes won't mind my telling you all that should the other Julie have succeeded in activating the device on its current settings and range, then we would have all been doomed to repeat the same 6.5 minutes for the rest of time. Anyway, thank you all for your patience. Enjoy your drinks, and remember, tomorrow is... Hello. Thank you for coming. I trust you have all enjoyed your wine. You all deserve to blow off a little steam, and both myself and co-director...
When I once again became aware of my surroundings, I find myself in the dim engine room of a nightmare behemoth. My friends from the church were there, but shaven-headed and strangely attired. 'Twas then I noticed an imposing man in a floor-length leather jacket.
Yep, that's me, hello. Messianic patriarch of a band of ragtag freedom fighters in a steampunk alternate past where mysterious, flower-headed demons wander the earth and wisps of white gossamer something or other are forever floating about in the air. while we plot our overthrowing of an evil tyrannical system from the relative safety of this, the engine room of the United States Navy destroyer Eldridge, in a 1943 that you are not familiar with. A little bit about me there, in case you were wondering. A big fan of the podcast, by the way. Congrats on episode 100.
Wait, so I've broken free of simulated reality, and I've traveled backwards in time.
And to an alternate dimension, yes. We call this reality the Inside Out.
Well, that all seems needlessly complex.
Yep. And we also have this technology that teaches you special skills by stabbing you on the head with this big old spike.
Oh, no, I don't
We
think
brought
that...
you here because you've been chosen to lead our cause.
As you've always known it, it's a sense that has haunted you like a little bit of fluff hiding there in your belly button.
I'd rather not.
It's almost become a part of you. I'm getting a blank look here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The unseen hour?
Yup. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes.
Oh, you're not. Yes, you do.
Yes, sorry, nodding. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm nodding.
Originally in the script, you just nod.
Sorry, folks, I messed up that gag.
That and many others.
many others.
So, just to reiterate, he has said yes, he does want to know what it is.
Nodding.
Now, unfortunately, nobody can tell you what the unseen hour is. You must see it for yourself. You must confront your enemies and find out who is behind it all and why. Ooh, that's good. They do that every time.
Do what?
When I say, who's behind it all and why. That's good. Sorry, go on.
Very good.
Back to you.
But why me?
We are all travellers between a multitude of times and parallel universes, Rufus, but the story always centres on you.
Yeah, except for episodes 7 and 8 when it was somebody else.
Yeah.
I was on a cruise. What? Was my actual line.
Another joke trodden on.
You're going to need some special skills for the challenges ahead. Hold still.
Oh. Wait. Oh, wait. I can feel it working. Whoa. I know pugilism.
That's right. Pugilism, the most advanced and powerful of all martial arts.
Yeah, you blackguard!
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Right, ready?
Yeah, I'm...
Show me.
Yeah, now! Ah! You damnable cat's crate! I shall...
No, all right.
Yeah,
Stop.
Ow. Up you
Yeah, right.
jacks it.
Okay, you're ready to go back. Climb
Yeah.
through this fleshy tear in space-time. Go on in.
Oh. Sorry.
Don't make me push you through.
As I sloughed myself through the viscous time hole, I was beginning to feel optimistic. Clammy, but optimistic. I would find out who was behind all of this and why.
There he is! Mr. Strideforth!
They had found me straight away. But how could it be? It was too soon.
You cannot escape us now, Mr. Strideforth.
Well, now, I don't need to.
Bring it on!
Yes, you didn't expect that. Terrible grip number 34.
His pugilism is too strong. I'm defeated. I have so many regrets.
Who do you work for? Who's behind the unseen hour? And why?
I'll never talk!
But the suited agent didn't need to talk. For I had transcended physical reality by this point and could simply reach into her mind for all the information I required.
No, stop!
There we
Stop
are.
it! Oh,
That's
that's
what
horrible!
there we-
That is weird.
Jolly good. I find what I was looking for locked tightly inside a cerebral lobe known as mobile keyboardy comedian. The recently arrived Hugh Davies. Here he comes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a short turnover period where we get him on stage.
Because he arrived after we'd started.
Train problems, train problems.
Train problems? Thanks, Obama. You all still found that awkward to laugh at Obama, didn't you?
Do you know my favourite bit about this episode so far?
What's that?
It was when you were supposed to be eating liver and onions, and someone just went, "That's a banana."
Over there, yeah.
The magic of radio.
I wish it had been liver and onions.
I'll move this out.
Move that.
Let's start with less energy than that, please. I'd like. That's okay. Cool. Okay, it's the first one. Walking down the street with my dad, he holds my hand, I look up, it's not my dad, it's just a random man, he puts me in a van. It's part one of 3. So. The random man pulls off a mask, it's actually my dad. We both laugh and drive off down the road to an orphanage. He spots me for a bike. Yeah. I think we was crack into part 3, because we're short on time. The orphanage was just a dream. I wake up in my bed, but someone's painted all the windows black. I'm in a sack, I'm still in the stranger's van. So, yeah. A happy ending after all. Happy ending after all. It's actually been developed into a 3-part musical by Disney. It's called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang 2, Trust Issues. On ice. So, a lot of questions about this keyboard. Pretty weird. I actually made this for my day job. What I do is I drive all around the UK, right? If I see a really packed out Thai restaurant, I'll go into that restaurant, I'll find the general manager. I'd just stare at him like this. So that everyone at the restaurant thinks that I'm from a rival Thai restaurant. Yeah. It's not a big earner, but I find it really calms me down. You know? Let's put a bit of energy into the room, because I know what I'm like. Give us give us a big cheer if we're fans of popular dance music. Yeah! Wrong answer, it's shit. It's the worst genre there is. If you're not familiar with the genre, I'll tell you about it. Specifically, there's about 5 seconds I don't like. Right, so there's a build-up right at the beginning. So they talk about music, they talk about dancing, that's fine. There'll be a 5-second pause in which the music will stop or say something incredibly profound, and the music will just continue on like nothing ever happened. I'll show you what I mean. So it starts quite gentle, like a sort of like a... Cross on the dance floor, feeling the heat, feeling the music, feeling the beat, the sound of the drums, yeah, just feeling the flow. See you walk through a toilet door, cross on the room, yeah, looking at me, looking at you, and my heart starts to beat. This room is on fire, you whispered to me, whoa, how deep is your love? Come on. What was that? How deep is your love? I heard that in the middle of a popular dance song, and it sent me into an existential crisis. Then he crashed my car. Take the person you love the most, like my mum. My mum loves me unconditionally. Well, if I said to my mum, how deep is your love for me, mum? She would say, we're not that close, we don't really speak that often anymore. If you said it to a random person in a nightclub, you said, how deep is your love? They'd say, shallow. We've just met, if anything, you're a bit clingy. You know, how deep, it's such a weird thing to say as well, so profound. And yet it had nothing to do with anything else gone on that song. As long as it's profound, it fits a genre of popular dance music. You can put anything in. You can go, cross on the dance floor, looking at me, looking at you, and my heart starts to beat. This room is on fire, you whisper to me, what happens after we die? Come on. Does God exist? Would you torture to save someone you love? Hit it. Ow! Oh, they've got your mum. I don't know. Is that 5 minutes? I don't know. That's about it. Oh, cool. So that was 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. Started off quite badly, then it went quite well, and then it sort of petered off in the middle, and we had a nice strong ending, so. Good. Anyway, still I'm Tuesday.
That was lovely, that was excellent. I enjoyed him. That was very fine. Well done, you, Davies! You ready? Okay, hold on. Does anyone else fancy a sausage roll? I do. A really nice sausage roll. I can smell pork, you see. I don't know if it's because there's pork. Oh, yeah? To recap, having attained godlike powers and retrieved vital information from the brains of the time-traveling artificial intelligence agent monsters, I quickly dissolved their physical forms into binary code and floaty white gossamer, which apparently is something that I can do now, because my pugilism is so powerful. And yet, I had not yet reached the heart of the mystery. I had been assured that no one could tell you what the unseen hour was, so I was determined to see it for myself, to learn who was behind it and why. As I flew around the city like a goddamn superhero, I noticed that an enormous temple had appeared where it should not be, towering over all the other buildings. My journalistic instincts told me that this was the place to continue my investigation. Hey, you! Mr. Shaven-Headed Child! What is this place?
Stay back! You strayed into the headquarters of the Office for the Optimisation of Extraordinary Epiphenomenologically Opposed but Observed Occurrences.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, I demand to see the head of the Office for the Optimisation of Extraordinary Epiphenomenologically Opposed but Observed Occurrences. Ooh-ee-ooh. Perfectly pronunciated. What are you laughing at? It was perfectly pronunciated. Don't make me dissolve you into binary and gossamer. I'll do it.
It's hopeless, Strideforth. The unseen hour is a prison whose walls you can neither see nor touch. It was created for you, and you for it. Love your podcast, by the way.
It was then that I realized that I was surrounded by dozens of copies of those dark-suited agents.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
there.
Hello.
There they
Yes,
all are.
hello.
They had found me. They had found me again. Someone must have betrayed me. And having gained insight into the nature of my reality, story structure, and character archetypes, I knew exactly who it must be.
That's right, Rufus. I've been playing both sides since the beginning, helping you along and sabotaging you all at once.
But why, Imogen? What could you possibly have to gain?
Oh, all sorts of things. Sometimes money, sometimes freedom, sometimes revenge, or simply the thrill of distraction. It's my nature, the part I play. A tantalizing love interest whose motives are ever elusive, to be desired but never understood. A shapeshifter and femme fatale.
All right, screenwriting for dummies. Oh, so meta. Go and blog about it. You can't stop me now. I know too much and have grown too strong. I will find out who's behind this and why. And more. For I can already see through this reality for the slavish matrix parody that it is. I see a multitude of Strideforths in a string of parallel worlds scattered across time and space. I see the very nature of the unseen hour itself.
Quite so, Mr. Strideforth.
Greek, but what are you doing here?
I merely wish to congratulate you. First of all, congratulations on episode 100 of the Unseen Hour Files.
Thank you.
I never miss an episode. But also congratulations on reaching the climax of your investigation, on uncovering the truth. I am the architect of this reality, Rufus. Everything that you have experienced up until just now is my creation. But now you have grown beyond it. You have achieved your apotheosis.
I don't trust you. You have been my constant antagonist across all these realities. You must now secretly be trying to do me in.
Well, do as you wish, Mr. Strideforth. But know that I am merely your shadow. I fall as you rise. And in this iteration of our struggle, I have stacked the deck in your favor. I have arranged things so that you might reach this escape velocity and break the walls of this false reality that holds us both prisoners.
Yes, well, this is all getting very abstract and wishy-washy now, but
Yes.
nonetheless, it's worth a shot. Here I go, escaping the clutches of reality. Ascending to a sublime form.
Yes, yes, go, Strideforth, transcend! It's an upending!
And like that, Strideforth is gone. He steps outside the frame and vanishes. Strideforth is free. But free from what? And into what? If we see our prison stretching to the horizon, what freedom can we ever have? And what freedom can you know, dear listeners, when every step you take will surely bring you back at the unseen hour?
Damn right you applaud.
We hope that you were literally turned inside out by the Unseen Hour, episode 25. The unseen hour, files. The Unseen Hour is recorded live on the first Wednesday of every month at the Rosemary Branch Theatre in London, courtesy of Unattended Items. Except for in March. March is our first birthday. We will be performing at Vault Festival on the 8th of March at 6 p.m. Check vaultfestival.com for tickets. This episode was performed, candidly, by Brice, Stratford, Joey Timmins, and James Carney, and featured a monologue written by Angus, Dunican,
and performed by Emily Jane Kerr.
The musical guest was Hugh Davies. Theme music by The Unrecorded. The Unseen Hour is an Unseen Things production, created, written, and produced by James Carney, and the podcast is produced, just between you and me, by Andy Goddard. And as ever, we all look forward to seeing you here again at the Unseen Hour.